Okay, so we look at the setup from a grip perspective, and we always see change at static instantaneously. Okay, left hand grip maybe a little strong, but your right hand grip they're getting a bit more on top. There's good. That's going to help they get that a little more connection together and help that wrist hinge that we just discussed there about keeping that club straighter. The issue we had in the swing, as we said, the top of the backswing. When you swung up here, now there was your sort of top of the backswing. That's kind of your spine angle there, sort of tilted behind the ball. Your right hip now has gone back further than your left shoulder. So you're in that sort of steep, tilted position. And like I said, a little bit of that came from the fact your legs were quite straight to start with, so you couldn't really rotate. What we're going to try and do is soften those. And these are some practice swings. We can see your spine now in a different position there, Now that feels probably quite extreme, but at that position, if you can get to there, you're laughing, aren't you? That's a really, really good spot. The thing is, you've been used to having the body almost tipping too far to target, and therefore having to now back it up this way during the downswing. The problem is, if you get into this position here now and then instinct back it up in the downswing, your club's going to be in the ground back here and you hit a few hooky ones as you're there. The contact wasn't too bad, but you're just flick hooking it, okay? So getting the body to work better. And like I said, we have limited time, okay? So if you could spend a short amount of time per day just making some of those pivot movements we showed you with the hands across your chest, just getting the feel. So this becomes kind of what you do. And then swinging through, you can see when you even on a practicing, there's not much movement through there. The right foot barely comes through. So what will happen is, and you may see this, as you swing through, if the body's not coming through with a club, you see your hand there just roll over. Like your left hand now sort of rolled over. If we compare that to this move you had before, your glove hand never comes away. Look at that different release and look at that release. And that's not me saying, oh, release the club. That's just happened because of how your body is working, you see, So when the body is working different, other body parts respond. Like I say, a lot of these things are instinct, okay? So getting that sensation of how that club is going to work through impact. You can see the pivot here now as you go back. I think this is another one's a good one, this takeaway here. So again, hinging the wrist nicely. Maybe a bit long, I would say, in that one. Again, that's something that you're able to do because obviously you've got some decent flexibility there and you can move your lower half quite well, but don't want to be going too far. Then when the ball gets there, now it's just, okay, focus on my grip, make sure that right hand gets a bit more, say, on top. And I would say from a swing thought perspective now, just think about hinging the wrist, I think, as a swing thought. That's going to help the club get a bit more kind of up and open in the backswing rather than getting too closed. The body movement, we hope, just sort of been practiced there, okay? I would say there's okay. We go any further, I think we do. Not too bad. But if we compare that backswing to where you were, you've got a bit more kind of this way. At least your spine angle now is starting to get a bit more behind the golf ball as opposed to sort of tipping towards tight. You see the club shaft now is a good indication of kind of where your body's at. It's from here now, which will take a bit of practice. It's now shifting through as much that left side as you can. I would say your right leg doesn't really move from where it is it? It's used to supporting a lot of that weight going the other way. So your right leg goes, well, okay, I'm pretty strong here. I'm back here, so okay, I'll take the weight and just stay there. Now you've got here, you've just got to get used to just pushing off that leg, which again, that I would say is more of a kind of a month down the line feel as opposed to trying to think too much now. So we'll just put it in the video so when you think, okay, I feel like my pivot's getting better. How can I improve off that? But then from through impact here now, we see your right foot out hasn't really come to at all, and look how it still stays back there. You see, we would obviously want to see which other you probably do on this one. I think better. Your foot jumps a little bit. It gets a bit more on the tiptoe there. Okay, in an ideal world, that knee would be together and the foot would be right up on its toe. That's again down the line. Don't worry about that yet. You've got to focus on what the body's doing at the moment. Okay, and I say first you got to do is get that pivot there. The better one I think was the second one we had here. Probably about that one there. I would say one of your better ones. Okay. So that's what we're trying to achieve. So if we sort of take some lines back there now, down your trail hip there, we want to try and get some separation now. You slided a bit over that way, but the pivot was okay. Try and keep that head there in that same position. So the hips there, I say, going a bit more towards. That's gonna. It's almost like if my wrist is your hip, you're going that way. It's not that way. So the hip moves towards target. Your head is going to stay fairly centered, which it's doing there. Okay, has a little bit of movement, obviously, but it's getting that sort of pivot in this better position. So, and you can see because there's not much wrist, look how flat that club is there. At this position, we see the club to be a bit longer. Should be up there somewhere. That's again, this is at the start. We didn't discuss that wrist hinge. Okay, so getting that wrist to hinge, that's going to be a swing thought. The practice now is going to be work on that pivot, getting that club to work back with your body getting in a better position. So you're creating a bit more kind of spine angle lean. When it comes to the golf balls hinge the wrist would be kind of your swing, which might come to gripping a bit looser and just having that ability to hinge the wrist. Okay, so you've got a sort of a practice sort of thought process, some swings that you're making away from the range, even away from the goal. So the stuff you do at home would be up against the wall there, hands across your chest, getting this pivot working over and over again. Yeah, couple of minutes a day, get it done in front of a mirror. If you're not sure, film it, send it back to me and go, am I doing it correct? I can then sort of send some videos and say, okay, yeah, this guy, look at this guy, he's doing it, are you the same way? Or maybe you're going a little bit too far that way, or maybe you're going too far this way, or whatever. Just to keep track of that. So for the next month or so, get that body working better. Then when you're swinging the golf club, you can then think a bit more what your hands and arms are doing, because the engine, i.e. the body, is working better. So you start moving that in a more functional manner. Then you can just control the club face with your hands and your wrist, because at this position now, that club's quite strong. That's going to send the golf ball way to the left there. Okay, and if your body doesn't come through, which it's going to not do as much now because of this new pivot, you're going to get a few hooky ones initially. Okay, but this is the time of year now we do the practice. Best when we'll not be playing much this time of year with the weather anyway. So down the range, hitting a few balls if you can do. And again, like I say, at home, doing as much as possible. Keep that movement going. Okay, makes sense. Yeah, good stuff. Right, let's have a